Good morning again, third grade scholars. This is Mrs. Thornton. I'm moving on to our lesson about text features, and we're using Fairweather Clouds to talk about the text feature of footnotes. I mentioned this a little bit yesterday, and we're going to look a little bit more in depth today. So from yesterday, I talked about the word splay, and that if we look down here at the one that was just like next to it, the word in line 6, it gave you the definition. And then I put that definition into the stanza as I read it. So let's look at a different one today. Let's look at the second one, and it's here on line 11. The word is cumulus, and it has a little 2 next to it. So at the bottom, it tells you cumulus is white puffy clouds with a flat base that indicates little or no precipitation, like these in the picture. They're white and fluffy, they're fairly flat on the bottom, and you usually don't get rain, if any, not much at all, out of these clouds. Dark clouds, we know, produce more precipitation. Okay, so the footnote is at the bottom. It's noted by a number. It's next to the word that it's talking about, and it gives you the definition. So when I look at this line, above the sky, the blue field is thick with piles of cumulus cotton. Those aren't cotton balls, but they're clouds that kind of look like cotton balls. So the cumulus cloud is being compared to a cotton ball. And cotton, when it grows in a field and gets ripe for picking, it grows on a plant, it would look somewhat like this, and it's ready then to be used in sewing applications like quilting and stuffing it into the quilt, okay? So when you look at your footnote, you would look at the word with the number next to it. You would look at the bottom to get its definition. And how it helps you is it helps you visualize what a cloud looks like. So if you know what a cotton ball looks like, you would get the idea of what the cloud looks like in the sky. The next thing that I'd like to talk to you scholars about is non-literal language and how we distinguish that from regular language. Now, we've had some examples of non-literal language before. In the past, we've done some reading with similes, and you've done some writing of your own too. With similes, you compare one thing to another using the words like or as. And if you remember, for instance, about the blacksmith that we read, how strong he was, and it said that his brawny arms are like iron bands. So that's giving you a description of comparing his arms to a band of metal, iron. When we use metaphors, instead of using the words like or as, we're not using those, and we're still comparing. So you could say the muscle of the blacksmith's brawny arms are iron bands. And that's still comparing, but they're not using the words like or as. So let's look at a metaphor in Fairweather Clouds. You're going to be choosing some of these in your assignment in Google Classroom today. Let's look at line 9. It says, the blue field, okay? The blue field is comparing the sky to a regular field. And it's just saying that it's very big because a field is large. It happens to be blue, not green. And we're talking about the sky. It's not talking about land. And that's a comparison, not using like or as. It says above the sky, the blue field. Doesn't use like or as, but it compares the sky to a blue field. And you're going to be working on that in your chart today. Good luck.